Wans in Fort Lauderdale, a family tradition since 1966.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Beefo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim fram sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We are rolling along on this holiday week, a couple days out from 4th of July, and it doesn't matter what day of the week or what holiday is coming up. Everybody loves Chinese food, especially when you're at Wans. We're with Alex Cook, the new, but, well, it's maintaining a family tradition that's gone on since I've been alive, for 59 years. Unbelievable.
Are you calling me old?
No, I'm calling me old. I just had my birthday, and every time I look at the door, it says since 1966. I was like, I'm since 1966, and I'm almost 60.
Now that we won, you lost the beer. You look a little younger, you know. Now.
Yeah, I lost the beer. Well, I've been lazy though. I didn't. Now I've got stubble again.
It's a holiday. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm just, summertime, and we're at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale. This place is all the rage amongst the Let's Eat South Florida people, 206,000.
Yes, sir.
And every time somebody comes in here, they have nothing but kind words, which is always, I guess, a happy thing as a
It is, we strive to make our, to deliver our best, and my family's been doing that for 4 generations, and I'm very blessed and honored to carry that. And yes, I do have to say thank you all to the Let's Eat South Florida community out there. Everyone's been great to us. We love you guys, and I must say, you guys, the entire community really knows food. I mean, these are people who know what they're talking
That's
about.
it. Butter them up.
I was gonna say,
just sing their praise.
It's true though. I mean, they
I think he means it.
They give some good critiques.
Yes.
They give some positives, some negatives, and some corrective criticisms.
Is it constructive?
It's absolutely.
That was my motto as a
True.
food critic when I was a professional writing for a newspaper back when there were
Does it help?
newspapers paying critics. Constructive criticism.
Yes,
Always
correct.
come in from a place of love, not
Right.
trying to tear apart a business.
Correct.
That's the thing that annoys me most. But meanwhile, you tricked me, Alex. Because today you said, "Oh, we're gonna do like a cooking demonstration," and then it turned in I forgot the burners, and we're gonna do Asian slaw for the 4th of July. And I was like, "That sounds great. Let's just do a lot of vegetables on the lighter side." And then next thing I know is like, I'm just gonna bring out a couple of apps. And look at this table.
Yeah, he brought it. I'm like, what is an app here? These are apps?
No, this is
These are all things you can have. Sir, we're trying to dine here. You have your first course here. You've got your second course over there, and the mains over there,
Well,
but we'll do some chopping a little later. I
okay.
promise.
And you said Asian slaw, and then I just said, "Oh, Asian slaw and ribs." Then I was like, that I was down with. We got the beautiful. Look at these.
Yeah, those
These
are
honey
amazing.
glazed ribs
Those are
are
ridiculous.
coming out beautifully now.
Oh,
That's
fantastic.
That new smoker.
the smoker that you schlepped from
Ooh.
Yes,
Yes, that we schlepped from Orlando. The
and
chef
it
and I
looks
schlepped
like it was
over.
worth the schlep.
telling
Lubie, I'm
you.
going to give this over to you.
I'm gonna take one because I was dreaming about these. I'm not gonna lie.
As
there you go.
a very non-kosher Jew from Brooklyn, nothing gets me going like a beautiful spare rib. And
They're meaty. They're fall off the bone. Nice glaze on there. Just tender. It's just
oh god, that's
Yeah.
so good. And that
flavor
goes,
all the way through.
that'll go perfectly with Asian slaw
I'm
for your
telling you.
barbecue.
Yep. And the Asian slaw we're doing is going to be, of course, vegetarian, vegan friendly if possible. If you need it to be,
Mhm.
it's going to be easy ingredients you have in your house. You don't need to go out and run out and get anything. So it's going to be nice and easy.
Do you know any vegans that you invite to your house, or I mean, what do you think of vegans as a chef?
Listen, you know what I think of vegans as a chef is that if you're truly going to be a vegan, be a vegan.
Mm.
I've got if you look at the Chinese vegetarian is different from regular vegetarian. You cannot have anything in the garlic family or
Really?
anything in the chive family.
Really?
Why do they have feelings?
They believe that it is too yin and yang, too harmful for the body since you're not having any meat.
Oh, you need the
There-
balance.
Yes, and even like there's a religion called Jainism. They don't eat anything that's violent, so there's nothing that plucked out of no carrots, no root vegetables. I mean, food is.
Do you hear this? There's actually a vegan chain called Screaming Carrots. It was in Holland, not a chain. It was actually a one-off vegetarian vegan restaurant, and the name of it was Screaming Carrots.
There you go.
I didn't know that carrots screamed.
Well, apparently it's, people have feelings and everything. So,
Oh
but,
man!
But hey, if you're a vegan, you know what? There's a lot of cuisines that offer the Greek cuisines. Italians do a lot more with vegetables and highlight vegetables. My good friend Vince over here is visiting, and he's always said, why can't we highlight the vegetable? Why can't the carrot be the main of the dish? Why can't
I think
the
it
beets?
can.
It can.
So,
And
yes.
here it is. You
guys
have some
do some
fantastic
dishes that are
vegetable
very-
dishes.
We do.
Val and I were in the other night. We got the green beans, and
Ridiculous.
we added the shredded pork, and there was a generous amount of the protein. But if you go the straight vegetarian vegan route,
Right.
then you can have nothing but the green beans. Very
Absolutely.
flavorful.
Absolutely. And we all need our vegetables. So.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's Defoe's favorite, the mapo tofu,
Tofu,
which
right.
you told me a funny story about. Do you want to get into
We
filing it under the heading of people who have, let's say, criticism and it's not necessarily constructive?
if you order a dish and it's called tofu,
Right.
the predominant item in that should be tofu.
Tofu.
Right.
Yes.
Mapo
That's the
tofu.
star of the dish.
Right.
yes.
This particular person thought that there should be more garnish than there was tofu. So,
Right.
Oh,
know,
more
or-
than.
Right.
See, I thought it was that they wanted more of it because they enjoyed it so much. They actually wanted less tofu and
right.
more of the other.
that's
Right.
what I would
It was-
understand, right? But
Your
no.
garnishes are like peas and carrots, and or
But you're using the word
yes.
garnish. If you're using the word
Yes.
garnish, then you're openly saying, "Look, we want this," and we've had it, and it's more than just tofu. So
Right.
I'm a
they-
little
but they
confused
were
by that criticism, but-
overwhelmed with the tofu.
And the first thing I thought of as a response, and this is why I'm not a restaurateur, and I don't know, I think you thought it. I don't know if you actually said it to him, but or maybe it was your aunt who said the name of the dish is mapo tofu, not mapo peas and carrots.
we
Just
we have everyone has food. Everyone is very particular of how their grandma and their family made
right.
it.
Yeah.
So that they have a perception of what it is. We had another gentleman come in here and says, "We're not a Chinese restaurant." I'm like, "I'm sorry. What makes you think that we're not a Chinese restaurant? Like
Yeah.
you don't have mugu gai pan."
Oh, Jesus.
And it's like, well, we can make it.
You probably
I mean,
could.
We could make it, but if we put everything we can make on this menu, it'd be like the Holy
Cheesecake
Grail. It's like,
Factory.
exactly.
It would never end.
On page 725,
Right.
But
you said there is a dish that's similar that, as you mentioned, also can be modified very easily, and it's called what's that chicken dish called? The I don't know. You're looking at me
You're
like
looking at him.
at two heads. I thought you said there's something on the menu that's similar to mugu gai pan, like a
crystal
crystal chicken. Crystal
yes.
chicken.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Crystal chicken is very much like mugu gai pan. I can't even say mugu gai pan. But it's we can make if you ask us, there's things we don't want people to read the Holy Grail here.
Right.
So it's you ask us, if we can do it, more than happy to do it.
Right. And if it's
this is a jajangmyeon, we can make it with chicken, pork, or vegetable.
right.
It's like-
So okay, let's go through enough of the complaint department and let's get into this is the beautiful stuff. You wanted to highlight some things that people maybe not know about, hidden gems on a menu.
Right.
They don't think of as Chinese food.
Absolutely. We added the sky and pancakes. Our beef sticks are great. This is our dandan mian, our peanut noodles.
Sesame noodles.
Sesame noodles.
They know
People
it.
don't
Cold
know that.
dish
Cold dish.
for the
Cold.
summertime.
Exactly. And
In
it's-
New
and
York, I ate it all the time in the summer. Yeah.
and it's a nice light, peanut. You gotta like peanuts, but it's got full of flavor, Then we got to some of our classics that people don't know about. Again, jajangmyeon, the bolognese, nonna's recipe. My nonna made that.
Well, remember Marco
from the day.
Polo. He
That's right.
discovered pasta in China.
China,
right?
Yep.
Right. And as the Italians say, we invented it, they perfected it.
That's what Italian will say. That's
Yes.
exactly true.
So, but that's our version of a bolognese, and then
That's cool.
we have mushu. Not everyone makes mushu anymore because people make mushu with the pancakes, and we, it's a Chinese burrito. And people are going, really? And
Interesting.
it's a very classic dish, but people don't remember it. And then over here we make velvet shrimp or chicken. Again, bok choy, eggs with chicken or shrimp, and it's a dish that you don't find in a lot of places. But it's a very classic dish that people may mislook.
Well, I appreciate all these dishes. And this one, your aunt once made me, I was doing a roundup. It was the year of the pig. And this was when I was still at the Sun Sentinel. I think it was 2018. And I went around and I found like 8 different pork dishes at different Asian, Chinese restaurants. And some places had the twice cooked pork. You have twice cooked pork here? Or is that it's a Szechuan dish?
If you ask for it, we can make it.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's on the spicier side. And then, but I thought the unique thing that I don't see at a lot of places is they call it
Jajangmyeon.
Exactly.
And it's like a lo mein, except with a bolognese, but with a ground pork that can be modified, as you said, for those who don't eat pork. And I just love it.
And actually, in Chinese,
I can say I've never had it, but it looks very interesting.
Oh no, there's your chance.
Yeah.
No, but it's it's very interesting that
Now I see peas and carrots on here. Maybe it needs
I
more
don't
peas and
think I don't think he has an issue with peas and carrots.
this
Just
guy.
Val has
having that be the
wait,
main of a
I'm
dish
sorry,
that has
I'm
a peas and
butchering
He's gonna
the
buy stock.
serving.
He's gonna buy stock in peas and carrots.
Val is not going to buy stock. in
Yeah,
peas
no,
and
yeah,
carrots.
Val is not gonna like.
Maybe
we
just
know.
peas, but
Very good.
green beans. The other vegetables on the menu that I love, you do
Bok choy, eggplant,
bok
string
choy, the
beans.
Chinese,
Ooh.
like the Chinese greens. There's some really good stuff.
So
for
let me
those.
teach you a little bit of history and culture
Okay.
here. So
Yes,
I
need a lot of
food,
education
oh,
and
please.
culture.
Okay, but this goes in the this goes in
No,
the
no, no,
tortilla.
no, no, no.
No,
That
That's
goes
the
in
other one.
tortilla.
Yep,
That's
the
you don't know mushu?
See, we're educating here. We're
Okay, we
educating.
got
The only thing I've had inside of it is when you get
Peking
duck.
is in a
You put it
packet,
inside
but
of a
mushu is a very popular item. But yeah, let's
Mushu.
stick with the jjajangmyeon.
Yeah, we'll get to
So give
mushu
me
then.
the cultural education here. I'm sorry.
So first and foremost, when Chinese people say meat, when you say meat in China, it means pork. China has
Okay,
a
so
pork
it's
reserve.
assumed it's pork. Okay.
Yep, and then China has a pork reserve. It's crazy. We love our pork.
Yeah.
And then 2, noodles are important, especially during birthday. On my recent video, I said that you would give chopsticks as a gift because that means to quickly have a child. But noodles are important for a birthday because why? They represent
Longevity.
Oh, they do.
You have to have long noodles. Yes.
Those during the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year.
Yep.
I think some people eat longevity noodles. They call them because it's one of the traditions is for a long life and a prosperous New Year. You have the longevity noodles.
Absolutely.
There's mom.
There comes the mom.
Yep.
Inspector's here.
But yeah, no, you don't have to give me an excuse or a
This is
cultural
fantastic.
reason to eat noodles. I love any noodle dish. I love the don don noodles. I love these. I love traditional lo meins. I like Singapore noodles is another dish that you have on the menu that's on our greatest hits list. We always get that because that has a little bit of the spice and the curry and all that stuff. Is that a big seller here?
Mike, you're sounding Asian. You're gonna call me. I'm like, hey, in the morning, I just had don don noodles for breakfast. I'm like, okay, Mike, join the club. It is a big hit, especially with the curry fans, the people who love flavor. It's a nice dish that you can get shrimp, chicken, pork, vegetable, of course, but then that curry flavor is just smoky, not too spicy, and a nice light noodle. So it's a great. That's definitely a winner. People have actually gotten that.
I need more education. Chow mein, the dish itself, does it have noodles or not? Because there are some places where you order chow mein and it's a noodle dish. And other regions, like where I grew up in New York, chow mein was actually mainly just the chopped vegetables,
right?
With a little chicken.
American chow mein chop suey is a bunch of vegetables, napa, bean sprouts, onions, all combined together into a vegetable dish, but
with a nice gravy sauce, and some crunchy noodles on top.
Chinese chow mein, literal translation, means thin noodle that's tossed.
Interesting. So it has to.
That's me. That's what I like. Which is it similar to my fun?
Similar, yes, but my fun's a rice noodle.
This
where
is
the egg noodle, the thin like angel hair.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Sautéed.
Okay.
Rice noodle. Yes.
Okay, so it's a subtle difference, but like at some, like what you call, is it regional different? Or where would you find the noodle less chow mein, and then the other one is it's just a different word and pronunciation?
No, it's you would find the noodle-less chow mein in the North American hemisphere,
Right.
and in the continent and Asia, you would
Yes,
find
I
chow mein with noodles. So it's a very
but
much
there are some
Americanized
places in
dish.
San Francisco when you say chow mein, it comes with the thin
And that's
egg
a
noodles.
heavily
Right, 'cause
Asian.
if you go to like
population, too.
Chinatown, yes,
Right,
you
but
have to
Chinatown
specify.
you'll get
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Just to be safe, I would say always, of course, specify.
Let me ask you this, and I don't mean to offend anybody,
of
but we
course.
had this discussion the other day. Have you ever seen chow mein noodleless on a bun at a Nathan's famous
This
hot
used to
dog
be a thing
in New
What?
York?
in his area. I've never heard of
Really?
this.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people chimed in.
with the
on our chat saying like it wasn't just Nathan's. Our friend Andy used to go to a place
yeah.
in New York that it was a chow mein sandwich.
It was a thing in New York.
I never heard of it. I'm from here.
But
I never heard of it.
Nathan's Famous, which is known for the hot dogs and the hot dog eating contest
Last
coming
week?
up on.
It was last week, wasn't it?
No, the
Friday?
big one is on
Oh.
4th of July.
Oh,
Every
okay.
they
Oh,
have
4th of July, that's
regional competitions to send the finalists around the country in the last week of June. But the big competition is going to be Friday as usual. Joey Chestnut is back in after he went vegan for a year, and they but he's going to try to smash his record 74 hot dogs in 10 minutes. But Nathan's Famous, the original one is at Coney Island. I used to go there with my parents. They also used to have one in the local shopping mall near where I grew up, Kings Plaza. But on their menu was chow mein on a bun, and then they served it with some of those little thin crunchy noodles
Those are my
like that
favorite.
you would
I
see
love
on
those
top of the
soups and everything.
I love that
Yes.
wonton.
yeah, and the ones that the canned ones in the store used to have the little tin of the crunchy noodle, but they would put those little noodles on the bun. You put it down, and you'd have chow mein on a bun. It was a weird food, I got to tell you.
We gotta try that. A little bit of mustard duck sauce on.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
We could do a throwback. Well, I don't know if it's a throwback. It's like a New York thing.
People were chiming in that they love.
Yeah, and they looked at me like I had three
I never heard
heads.
of it.
We were at Gilbert's with Lenore and Beth, and they come from
They were from New York,
area,
and
and
they
they were
never
like,
heard of it.
"I've never heard of that." And I was like, "Well, I used to eat it as a kid."
Well, again, it's a regional thing.
Yep.
Even if you look at Chinese food, there's Cuban Chinese food, Venezuelan Chinese food, there's
The Peruvian
Chinese
yeah.
food.
Is that called the
So-
chifa?
Chifa. Yep.
Yeah.
So again, there's
fried
Chinese
rice.
food has expanded much.
Right.
Just like I think a lot of Italian food too.
Because when you're the most populated country on earth and
It
there's
spreads.
migration,
Yep.
there tends to be, there's Chinese cuisine adaptations everywhere, right?
That's true. Speaking of which, pop quiz.
Yeah.
So, what is the largest? Do you think the largest modern day migration happens when?
Oh, during the Mecca, the Hajj, the
No.
Muslims going to
Chinese New Year.
Really?
We're the largest population. So,
right.
right there, right? Yeah, Chinese New Year in China.
Where do
you'll
they go?
see Back home. In China, if you don't go back home,
Is that Brooklyn?
Yeah, we're home.
coming home? I go
Oh no,
across the
that's
bridge.
me. That's the Jews of
I got
South
bagels. Let's go.
So there's mass migration.
You have to
during
go
Lunar
home.
New Year.
Lunar New Year, you have to go home, and if you don't go home for 2 years, the parent can actually report you to the government, and the government can fine you for not going home to see your parents.
So you're saying like a little farm village has all of a sudden 40 million people show up or stuff like
Somewhere on Google Tracker, just track people's cell phones or something like that. You see all these people just go poof.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's just wherever your parents' home is, or is
Yes.
it China?
No, you got to go where you're. So if you're in
Your
in-
home.
yeah. If you're in Shanghai working,
Yeah.
but you're in freaking Fuzhou, you got to go back to Fuzhou.
Okay.
and go see
that's
your
funny.
parents.
Every 2 years. Otherwise, they never stop hounding you on the phone. What are you doing?
Well,
How
but your
come that-
mom's
Oh, that
here,
was-
so like you're good.
Oh, I'm trying to get it far away.
You want to go
I'm
home?
Now he is home again. I also heard something. I don't know if it's a true fact. I heard that India has now surpassed China for the world's largest population.
I would not.
I wouldn't doubt it.
would not.
Yeah,
doubt
I think
that.
that
Yes.
it was like at the 1.9 to 1.7, and India just passed it. So the world is a changing.
There you go.
Sometimes
That's great.
yeah,
Indian food is good. We'd love to.
That's great.
I love. Well, yeah,
Where do you go for Indian food?
So there's a couple of places. There's a new one that opened on Cypress Creek Road that I've heard good things about, but it's kind of an offshoot of another one that was in Del Rey, and I have not been there yet. And I forgot the name.
I'm sure someone on your wonderful page
Somebody-
is gonna pop it up right now. 'cause
Yeah,
they're in the know.
and then there is up on Federal Highway in Pompano. And why am I blanking on the
Well,
name?
Aroon's is
We did a
Aroon's
show
is the one
there.
I like.
Oh, Aroon's
Aroon's.
in
Aroon's
Coral
is
Springs.
great.
Coral Springs also does
Maroons
one
is-
on University.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's another one. Okay,
Yeah, he
the
has
one
a
by me
couple
is
of
fantastic.
branches now, but his original, just literal, the literal hole in the wall
Yep.
that is mostly takeout, but his flavors
It
and
is
his
fantastic.
combinations are great. And what is the
The
one?
Defoe's friend. I don't know.
You
we
know,
did a
also,
show there. It's on
If you're
North
talking,
End.
remember.
I think I saw on your page people were talking about summertime and value and the lunch spots. I mean, my friend over at Palace Indian.
Okay,
Pal and them,
that's it's State Road 84.
they do amazing.
I was
Yeah.
there last night. We went
Really?
to Shamuja for ramen, and we
Uh-huh.
met a friend last night. And then afterwards, we didn't have dessert at Shamuja, and I just have my ice cream fix. And there's a Carvel right there, right
yes,
next to Palace
yes,
Indian.
yes.
And I was noticing Palace Indian. I said, I've never been here, and it's unusual for me for a long-running place. So a friend of yours owns it.
yeah,
gonna
and they have
have
a
to get
great
in.
buffet.
Nice.
We'll go there.
Interesting.
Yeah, great for summertime.
You know, and on Las Olas, Bombay Darbar doesn't they do a pretty good
They do well.
job.
Yep. Yep.
And then let me see, Indian food.
But there's also this, like,
Pompano.
to see more also ethnic. There's the Ethiopian restaurant that just opened up.
Red Sea.
Red Sea.
Eritrean,
that's awesome.
Eritrean, and Ethiopian, and that's on my list. I have a friend that also is working there, and I
Really?
haven't been in there yet. But yeah,
Dying to
up in
go.
Oakland Park.
Yep.
How about me and you on a day off?
There
We'll
you go.
in there,
Let's
'cause
go. There you
it's
go.
been on my list. And Deccan Spice.
Deccan Spice. Yeah,
Deccan Spice in
yeah.
Pompano. It's in the same plaza as what's in there? Oh, there's a Asian buffet in there.
That sounds
whatever
like,
it
sounds
is.
like a good joke.
No, that's it.
It's the start of a good joke. A Chinese guy, a Jewish guy walk into a bar.
Deccan Spice does a nice job, and they that's one of my for
Yeah, they do a good job.
kind of a nicer sit down place
Yeah.
where you can have
Yeah, it's
good
like a
meals.
big restaurant.
And
It's-
because the owner owns a couple of wine shops, liquor stores in
Hmm.
Pompano, their wine list and wine selection is very good. So that's where I go sometimes. So
It's good to see people have a good wine list.
yeah,
Yeah.
and but I'll have to go check out Palace and then do the Palace Carvel Deli Double,
there you go.
particularly on a Wednesday when you get buy one get one free Sundays. At
It's the
Carvel.
only Carvel I know around still, right?
No,
There's a few of
Where?
them.
There's one in Tamarack, but like my parents live in Sunrise, and there's one over there, and I think
Really?
there's one by us in Cold Springs.
There's
as well.
one on Sterling Road near the Hard Rock.
Yeah,
when
there's
you
a few.
go
That-
towards University.
They're not like they used to
that
be, but
same
they still
shopping
exist.
plaza that has a Kung Fu Tea, and there's also another
yes, you're
Asian
right, you're
Chinese
right, right.
restaurant. the
Hong's Barbecue. No,
yeah,
that's
I don't
right,
want to
that's
say
right.
names of, but Hong's
Right.
does a really good job with the
Barbecue.
yeah,
Alice,
the
Yes,
barbecue, the
I agree.
hanging ducks and the
Yep,
suckling
I agree.
pigs and whatnot. And right next to there's a Carvel.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
So
right.
what a wide-ranging discussion.
Well, he's
I
he's
love
a
you.
We cover
foodie.
it
I
all. We
enjoy
cover
it.
it all.
This
Cover
is a
it all.
guy who loves his food.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
love it.
try. You know
So
what
how
I'm
do we
gonna
eat
do?
this?
I'm gonna roll you a moose.
How do we
Eat-
eat this? I've
Roll
never had this in my
Lubie a
life.
mushu. Is it mushu or mush? No, not
Oh.
moisha. That's a
Yeah, it
moisha
ain't
pancake.
moisha.
Was my uncle's. They weren't very good, and his blintzes were better.
I make
The
I-
mushu pork pancake.
I'm known
right?
to be made a good laka. I was told.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm sure you can. You went to culinary school, and
I
I'm
presume
sure
you could do a nice
you're
latke.
well versed in all the different dishes from all over the world. This is, you know what? While he's doing that, I'm going to take a bite of
And
your
this was,
beef
it
skewers.
was fantastic.
Is this like a beef satay? No.
Yeah, it's like a
satay.
satay. It's like
Okay.
a
It's got
satay.
a little,
Yeah, it's like a
little-
peanut sauce.
touch of curry in there.
Mhm.
Some great flavor.
It's really nice.
Oh, nice, nice,
Yeah, it's really nice.
nice
So,
beef.
Again, good chunk, so you get
Mhm.
good value. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Gotta make sure you get good value these days.
Oh,
I'm gonna roll this here.
people love value.
Look at this.
All right, the burrito.
That's
the
impressive. He
burrito.
did the whole thing with the spoons and the with the
There we go.
spoons.
You're not gonna find that through a Taco Bell.
No,
Call me at 4 in
thank
the
God.
call me at 4 in the morning. I'll roll this for you. Hey, I'm coming over. Sure, no problem. Tell my wife.
I'm enjoying all of this. And the rib. Did I mention that's a perfect looking
Yep.
spare rib, and I didn't take a picture of it.
Shame on you.
Yeah,
Shame
me.
on you.
We'll do pictures during the first break.
I love that the viewers take pictures and share some great stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Let's
They-
Eat group.
They really are phenomenal.
But you know what I'm
It's a-
getting tired of, Alex, is oops, sorry, I ate it all before I forgot to take a picture. And it's like,
But
the-
you know what though, as a restaurateur,
right, that's what you
it's-
want.
I do, because if not, the food gets cold. I mean, even just for example, Chinese food. People come in and go, "Oh my God, this tastes so different." I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "I've never been here. I usually get takeout." And even that
It's never the
takeout,
same.
never.
And
the
I
same.
like Chinese takeouts as good as any
course.
takeout, and reheating Chinese takeouts as good as any reheating.
Absolutely,
And it still is just not the
Totally.
same.
It's just not the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
So I encourage people to, if you can,
Yeah,
get
dig in when
have
it's
it.
hot. But here's the
Yes.
thing: in my line of whatever you call what I do, and when I used to go be a critic, I'd say there was three things. First of all, we called it Bike Club. First rule of Bike Club is we don't talk about Bike Club. Second rule is everybody's got to eat everything. If you're a picky eater, unless you have an allergy, but if you're a picky eater,
Yeah, it's not
And-
worth it.
you've got to try everything. I want everybody's opinions on every dish. And number three is the camera eats first. So when the food comes out, I'm pretty quick, but I'll take the picture
Right.
just because, it used to be like food critics. You'd have to hide and you would have to take secret notes in the bathroom
Yeah,
of
not anymore.
each particular dish. It was great when I became a food critic. It was, when Instagram and everything was becoming a thing. So it wasn't weird for people to pull out their phones and
Mhm.
start
Right.
photographing all their food.
Mhm.
And that way I had like once I see it on a picture, I could remember everything about the dish and how it came out, and if it was too salty or what the whole thing was. So
Actually, that rings a bell. Before, I believe before COVID, we had a few like what do you call it, like dining clubs that we get together, go around, dine. Do we have any more of those around?
You know, it kind of faded during COVID. It's kind of a shame.
You
but
should bring it back. Get some of your
well, you know how I
followers.
feel about eating in large groups.
He's not a
so
fan of it. That's the problem.
I
He doesn't like
encourage
little-
everybody who wants to socialize, and I know there's a lot of older people who might be single again and are looking for companions, and it's good to go out and meet new people. Not for me. I don't like going out anything more than really 4 is optimal is like 2. If I have to involve other people, up to 3 couples, so six people. But if you start putting 20 people in a room, and
it becomes a banquet style. You lose the touch of the actual restaurant.
you can't talk to everybody, and
ordering.
but I understand there are people who love that, and you're right. I think there is a couple of groups that are kind of resuscitating out there. There's something called the Kind Diner Society, but I don't know if they have group meals. I know they have like they sign up restaurants to be part of and give discounts, but I don't know if they actually have big group get-togethers. But
are any restaurants you're looking forward to for the Fort Lauderdale Dine Out?
Oh yeah, well, we'll get into that. You know what? We got to take our first break.
We do.
Verdict
This
on
is
the moose.
fantastic.
Look at that! You chowed that down.
It's really good.
You're like
This
a
is what
drunkard.
happened- this is what
A
happened-
drunkard at Taco
I'm not a
Bell
big.
at 2
funny is I
a.m.
like tacos. I don't like burritos because I don't like too much at once. And this is good because
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like too much at once.
Of course, it's good because Alex made it here.
But there's a lot of veggies in it
Now-
too. It's not just meat. It's not just filler. Like it. I don't know.
It has
I liked it.
crunch.
Yeah,
and
there is crunch. There's
and
crunch.
it
I
has
like-
different textures. And
really enjoyed it.
flavors.
As you can
My
see,
only question
annihilated
is,
it.
what would be, because I know in the Peking duck, when you make the packings, you put the layer of the hoisin sauce. What is the appropriate? Because I like spice. I would put like some mustard or chili oil before I wrap
Chili
it up.
oil, you could put a little hoisin. We usually serve a little hoisin. We didn't do it this time, but you do a little hoisin. You do like the spice. Our homemade chili oil would kick this out of the park. Yes.
Yeah,
And our chili oil is not a flavor changer; it's a flavor enhancer. Sriracha. People put sriracha on everything, and
It overtakes it.
Yeah, it tastes like sriracha. It doesn't taste like the dish anymore.
It's like putting ketchup on eggs or potatoes. Lubie, he loves ketchup.
I put it on potatoes. I've never put it on eggs. I don't
My
like
father put it on his eggs.
My mom does that. I
Maybe
would put it on
cringe.
potatoes.
Cringy, as the kids say.
Like you do it on your eggs.
I put my eggs.
Oh no!
I'm gonna scoot this one.
You know what? My father was a great guy. You're a great
And
guy.
Alex is too, exactly.
My daughter puts ketchup on hot dogs. I'm still
There you
filled
go.
with shame. I almost put her out of the will, but I love her.
Reason ketchup and hot dogs.
And pineapple on pizza. Where did I go wrong, Alex? All right, let's take our first break. We're having too much fun here at Wans, 664 North Federal Highway, downtown Fort Lauderdale. Come on out. They're open 6 days a week, every day but Tuesday.
Yep.
And they're going to be they are going to be closed for the 4th of July, Friday, right? Just a one-time schedule adjustment because you think everybody's going to be out either with family, cookouts, at the beach. We hope the weather holds up for everybody.
It's Florida, even though if it doesn't.
Yeah, but it rains every 4th of July. That doesn't stop us.
We just to go out. And have
Yeah,
fun.
the rain does not stop us.
So this week closed on Friday, but you will be open all weekend long, Saturday, Sunday.
dinner.
Come on in to wrap up the long holiday weekend with a good, proper family feast here at Wans. And also you started some of the combination specials, lunchtime. all that stuff.
Yep, and all the way through early bird. So it's from the 11:30 when we open all the way till 6.
Yep.
But of course, we also have family meal in between. 2:30, 3:30.
Right.
I love that you
which is
guys
what
do
we
this.
see now. Yeah, the staff comes in and they each have a
To
nice
eat and
little
hang out.
meal in between the services, lunch and dinner. One of the many components here that makes Wans a truly family place. They treat their employees like family as well, and some of them are actual
Family.
relatives. So
It's very close relatives.
Yeah. There's mom. His mom's right there.
Mom's
She's looking
right there.
great too. But no, we're good. That's it. All right, Lubie, let's take the first break, and we'll come back with more on the Lunchbox from Wans after these words. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial. serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Looking for inspired comfort food in a cozy setting? Blue Collar in Miami is the place to go. Located at 6789 Biscayne Boulevard, it moved to bigger digs a year ago, now has full liquor, and still features all your old favorites from chef owner Danny Surfer. Fantastic burgers, the braise of the day, and the city's best key lime pie. And the summer specials are sizzling with BOGO lunch sandwiches every weekday from noon to 5 p.m. in June and July, Miami Spice menu in August, September, and drink specials every day. Open daily with weekend brunch. For reservations and information, go to bluecollarmiami.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, upscale food in a down-home setting, the chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have daily happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining, and they are now featuring a monthly lamb roast brunch on the first Sunday of every month. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information, go to tavernakima.com. When I get a craving for real Southern barbecue, Fat Boys Barbecue is the place that I call home. Cooked low and slow with proper smoke and dry rub goodness, Fat Boys has some of the best ribs, brisket, burnt ends, pulled pork, and chicken around. 5 delectable sauces and the tastiest collard greens, candied yams, and cornbread this side of heaven. 4 locations, including Deerfield, Coral Springs, Cypress Creek Road, and their newest location in downtown Fort Lauderdale, 706 South Federal Highway. Open 7 days with great lunch specials, online ordering, delivery, catering, and food trucks for your next event. To order, go to fatboysbarbecue.com today. That's Fat Boys with a Z, as in amazing. We're back on the Lunchbox. I love coming in here with Alex, hanging out, kibitzing, as we used to say, and met your, I guess he's a good friend that has a ramen shop up in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, nice.
And I love ramen. I was at Shamuja last night, had a beautiful bowl of their Kagoshima special. It's very rich, deep tonkatsu, pork, whole pig. They reduce for 16 hours or something like that. It's nice. It's good. They do a nice job there.
We gotta get you out to Bauer Street and Temple Street out there. Get
their
birria ramen.
No, I've. Oh yeah. Okay.
Have you had the birria ramen yet?
Yeah,
it's a craze I know online.
I know. I mean, the birria tacos, and they serve it with a little bit of the broth, juice, and then with some places now put in the noodles.
Birria ramen.
Birria ramen. We make the Temple Street there makes a great beer ramen. It's got the cheese in there, the little crunchy
really
noodles. Oh yeah, dude,
that's interesting.
There. Are they doing?
I've been in the food in a while.
Good out there, and I know the Eep family and. They've started that dumpling shops that's down on the marina,
around here,
Marina Village, and I guess they call it Yip.
Yip dumplings. Yeah,
and there's a couple of them sprouting up. So
I think they're in Aventura Mall as well. Too,
yeah,
so
I think there's one. Of them. Yeah, so it's good to see everybody spreading out and everybody able to enjoy all the good food out there.
But it's also good to see that the the area, our community understands ethnic food. It may be Asian, maybe
more.
Yeah, they're opening up.
Than even 10, 15 years ago. I think they've become more accepting.
Well, that's what I was going to ask
adventurous.
Because when we do these shows, I've noticed you'll bring out a bevy of different things, and you always like to bring out classics and things that are classics that people may have forgotten.
Right.
I always find that interesting. Like here, we know it's it's Chinese and it's
Egg foo young. with
but
the sweet
you've
and
talked
sour
about
stuff.
you have all the different kinds. You
Yep.
try to at least have an array of it.
Yep.
What do you notice? Are you notice people being willing to be a little bit more adventurous? Because
Absolutely.
you two talk about very different kinds of food,
Right.
and I'm always curious. People talk about Miami. That's where they're more open, but Fort Lauderdale and Broward
It
is
used to be known for being vanilla tastes.
like
in Fort
Tim and
Lauderdale,
Baloo
but-
with the Catherine. We talk about him a lot because
Yep.
he wants to introduce people to the islands and a lot of different flavors. And he wanted to do it here in Fort Lauderdale, the Broward area. So I'm curious because, again, this is kind of cuisine that everyone knows and loves, but there's also different adaptations to it. Have you noticed people being more open to adventuring out there?
I think people have been a little adventurous. I think it's part on our responsibility to say, let's introduce something
Okay.
that is. I'm not going to introduce you to chicken feet right away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a little hard.
I was going to say, yeah, how do you pivot
on
people?
your third visit? I might introduce you to chicken feet. You know? So guess what you're getting
with
next time?
me, you do
Next
it on
time-
the
Yeah,
first.
we've never, I
visit.
haven't had
I've
chicken
had
feet.
it before. You know my description of chicken feet? Gelatinous.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
like
it's a
when
lot
you
of-
when
yeah,
it's
yeah.
that cartilage when you pull it apart,
that's
and like
why it's great for
I
soup.
kind of like that
But
sensation of pulling it apart, and you feel the toes kind of
Mhm.
pull apart. You know, like in your, you pull it away, the toes remain, but the cartilage comes. It's just that consistency.
That's why it's great.
gelatinous.
That's why it's great in soup, and that's why Asians we have soup
Oh.
every day. That's why our skin is not mine, but our skins are great.
Yeah,
because
right.
without soup. But I
Chicken
would
feet
start.
and soup would be great.
It's
yes.
on our responsibility as a restaurateur, as a chef, to introduce guests slowly into a different dish.
Interesting.
I may introduce you to the mushu and then the jajangmyeon, then get
Yeah.
you into a
I didn't
the
realize
whole-
this is the cucumbers. This is great.
Yeah, it's cucumbers. It's really
This
good.
is summer in a bowl. I mean,
Yeah.
give me that and the cold sesame noodles. I'm sorry
You're
to
done.
interrupt.
No, no,
Go.
no.
Do you find people are more open to you? Because that's my wife and I are very big on, we'll bring up a few things and what do you think? We love doing that. We
Right.
love doing that. But
You're
I
a
notice
good
not
guest.
everyone likes doing that.
correct. Some people are just like to come in and
They come in, they want their dish, and that's fine.
for 40 years they've come to our restaurant every Sunday, get the exact same thing.
Yeah,
The
right.
kitchen knows them. The kitchen doesn't know what they look like, but they know that
They
their
know what the
person's
dish
here.
is.
That would be
the-
default.
that dish that
Yeah,
is
honestly.
named after
My
them.
parents are like that. My dad
Yeah.
loves the egg foo young. That's like a go-to for him.
Right, exactly. But some people are willing to explore more and see what's on the menu, what's the different description, and it's
No.
again our job to educate the servers on how to sell that dish. We just did Hong Kong chicken, and so what's Hong Kong chicken?
Yeah.
And we had a few variations,
Okay.
and finally someone goes, it's almost like Peking duck but made out of chicken, and with the dipping sauce. And they're like, oh, people
That's
can
the way you
relate
can
to that.
pitch it, yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's how you also relate it.
Could describe it in an accessible manner. My question is this: like for regular guests who might be more adventurous, do you say, "Hey, I think there's
Yeah, like if
something
you
you
know
would try"?
them.
Will you give it to them and like comp and send it out on the house so that then you're like get them hooked and then they'll start eating it again every time?
So the story goes that's exactly what my grandfather did with Mushu.
Mm-hmm.
People are going, I'm not having a burrito for in a Chinese restaurant. And what he did was he actually
But
used
try it first.
he used to give a comp burrito,
Right.
one roll burrito per, like you came in, it's like Oprah,
Yeah,
you're getting
try
a
this.
burrito, you're
Yeah,
getting a
right.
burrito.
Right.
Everyone's
Try
getting
this.
burrito.
Here's a little mushu. Yeah.
Exactly. And then and actually that's what people started.
Then you get them hooked, and
Yep.
then they start ordering it, and that's a very wise business move. I mean, it's the thing where, and then people feel like, oh wow, he really likes me. He wanted me to
Gave me
try this.
something, yes.
He gave me something. Our friend Joey Esposito at Cafe Seville,
Mhm.
for first timers, the people he doesn't recognize, he's like, hey, bring him the shrimp and garlic, the shrimp al ajillo on the house, or the pulpo Santa Fe, the octopus, and he'll just throw out a free appetizer. People eat and say, wow, this is great, and then they're hooked. They like, I
Yeah.
love this place. It's that feeling of feeling acknowledged, and also that they're getting something, that it's
And
it's
That's the exact
gracious.
Exactly. That's the exact thing. That's the exact definition of hospitality.
Yeah.
And you're right now, the dean of FIU has been talking about AI and how it's taking over hospitality. And the main thing about it is that
It isn't a human being, though.
Is AI gonna be able to give hospitality? And what is hospitality? How you make someone feel.
Mm.
Yep.
When you
Mhm.
walk through the door, when you're at the bar, sitting down after the meal, it all matters. That's what everyone knows. The host is the most important.
Right. You want that human interaction. That's a
Absolutely.
big part of dining out. You know how AI makes me feel? Obsolete. So there you go.
Yeah, it
Hey,
does.
let's take our. Oh, what am I eating? The last thing, the shrimp. This is just
Really
shrimp.
nice.
Velvet shrimp, bok
Velvet
choy,
shrimp.
shrimp, and egg whites. That's
Okay, I was gonna say the
Oh.
same thing.
Yeah.
But
So
it feels light, but
it's
the flavor
light.
is really
You're gonna
nice.
get the Chinese bok choy in there. Shrimp again. This is like a really classic.
I love it. This,
combination.
and I've never had this.
Yeah, 29.
And it has all the things I like, which is
Mhm.
the bok choy. You get some of that fresh,
Yep.
crisp, crunchy vegetable.
Mhm.
Everybody loves, shrimp.
Shrimp or
And-
chicken.
And the egg white, that velvet, it gives it the velvet touch. I
Absolutely.
love the texture of the egg white. This
Well, I
is
like the flavors, but it also isn't overwhelming.
There's the
It's
only,
not heavy.
There's the only eggs I don't put ketchup on.
thank God. And this is a dish
Really like it.
I wouldn't even put any spice on.
No, you don't
that.
need to
I
do
think the
anything to
way
that
it is
dish.
now is just perfect savory, a little salt, but
And
not
that's a
spice.
dish
It
that's-
doesn't need it.
That's a dish that's so overlooked in our menu because everyone goes to the classics,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it's something to highlight.
Velvet shrimp. It's coming on my
Well-
to-do list next time I
And
come
this
here.
is another. I'll be honest, and this is another way since we have such an audience.
Yeah.
Doing a show with Mike to be able to feature his honest opinion versus also be able to visually see it and get some people to look at it. It's a great.
Your
way
hope.
also-
Yeah. Look, I'm hoping that's actually why, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
the one that was a layperson when it comes to food, and I've opened my palate for many different reasons.
He's
Nice
really
job.
a lot has
he's
to
come
do
a
with
long
him.
way.
Nice
Well,
job.
my wife, my buddy, and then Mayo's another big part of it. But but I like to openly say, look, I've never tried this. So people who are there, because Mayo probably could be intimidating to a lot of people for many
Me?
different reasons. Both
Because I'm an elitist
he's a
snob
jackass
that
and
will
he's
look
also
down on your
gross,
taste
but he's
if you
also
don't know
gross
the-
too. He eats very weird
Obi-Wan
food,
Kenobi over
and
here.
he's like a gross human being at times too. So both spectrums, he can be intimidating.
I contain multitudes.
So I try to be like, look, I'm okay admitting I've never had this. Like you guys are going in,
Right.
everyone's like on the chat. They're like, oh, I love it.
I love it.
I don't
because you're-
mind admitting I've never had
You're
it.
a newbie Lubie. You
Yeah.
you come in with an
Yeah.
open mind, open palate.
And I'd like people to realize, look, and I get it. There's go-to. Believe me, I always love General So's. It was a go-to
Ugh,
for me.
Don't get me started. On
I
that.
know. It's probably honey or
Too
some other
sweet.
chicken.
The
or-
orange
Oh,
chicken
yeah.
and the
Oh.
general. So I don't like things that are overly fried. I don't like things that are too sweet.
There's a lot wrong with it, I'm sure, but I was always a go-to for me. It was egg rolls,
Right.
wonton soup, General So. It was just very automatic. But there's nothing wrong with opening up your,
And this is the classic
Experiences.
stuff. This is
especially when it comes to food, and especially when it's with you guys do such a great job. And what I wanted to say was, I'm again a very big condiment person, including Chinese food. I just put before I even taste stuff, I'm automatically putting soy sauce on it. Like that's
well,
an automatic.
We've drummed that out of you.
I know,
right?
I know.
Right. Yeah,
You would kick me out of your restaurant.
Right, but
Your
you're
food
learning.
doesn't need, but it doesn't need like I wouldn't. Maybe a kick if you really like things spicy and you're scared of some of the people, so you tone it
and
down.
you use the chili oil to enhance, not to overwhelm.
But I wouldn't touch any of this stuff with anything, which is impressive. Which
Well, that's
which is
good.
not a lot of people are automatically going to this or that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you don't have to here.
Well, he's doing things the right way here, Alex.
I
Kudos.
do have to say though, it really is. I have an amazing team.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
One day we'll bring them all on and get to be in them all. They're just a great team.
We're gonna need more headsets.
We can take turns.
Okay,
Mom
no, it's
seems
good.
like a blast. So.
Oh, and it's great. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Even when you come in now, you will see Alex's mom. You'll see his aunt. Thank goodness,
Miss Christina, yeah.
She comes around, and apparently you were telling me you can't keep her away. She's here like every Thursday through Sunday,
They make
You're
an
like-
appearance. We're
and-
selling tickets every Thursday through Sunday, $5 a picture.
and you were like, "Wait, maybe I should be the one who's retired." They love being here so much, but it's all good. All right, let's take our second break, and we'll come back. Are we ready for the Asian slaw? We're gonna put together something for the 4th. Put a little Asian spin on your 4th of July holiday. Asian coleslaw is a treat, and Alex is going to show us how to make it next on the Lunchbox.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligan's, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Wans. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Wan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Wan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. The finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years. Shenanigans. It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. Kitchen and bar are open into the wee hours, perfect for late-night bites and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a good time anytime, Shenanigans. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and as you can see, we are standing up because this is going to be, I think, a Lunchbox first.
We've never done this.
A cooking demonstration. We got Chef Alex here. We've got a cleaver, which is a little
Get away
frightening,
from
and I'm a
Mayo.
lefty. And why don't you talk us through, first of all, what do people know if they want to do this at home? What is the ingredients, involved, the mise en place that you need to have?
Monsieur, the mise en place. It's literally cabbage.
Okay.
You want a green
Okay, so that's
cabbage?
cabbage.
You
Okay.
can't get Napa cabbage. Up to you, no problem. I have some snow peas, some peppers for color, scallions, my good old, we call it a screaming carrot.
That's a nice carrot.
Yeah.
Some cilantro, honey, and vinegar. The only thing making this not our vegan friendly
Okay.
is the honey. So
Oh, come on. You
Really?
can't
So they
exploit
consider
them.
honey-
I'm no vegans because
Well, I guess like
it's
milk.
it's a byproduct. It's
Yeah,
a
milk
byproduct
comes
of
from
the
a
bee.
cow. Honey comes from a bee, I
It's okay.
guess.
The bees
But
need
did
to
that
make
come from the
honey to
bee?
survive as a species.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what they do. It's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they've been put on Earth for.
That's
You're
interesting.
not exploiting the bees.
I never heard about
by
honey.
using their honey.
But it's to be a truist. That's not.
I know. You're
that's
so
interesting.
sensitive. I
So-
don't have.
I'll give him credit.
I have
That's
opinions.
interesting.
But again, I respect people if they don't want to use the
Right.
honey.
So if you don't want to use the honey, you can use sugar, brown
Okay.
sugar, white
Okay.
sugar, no
Okay,
problem,
you can use
So
sugar.
it's simple ingredients. My uncle taught me Napa. if
What
you
kind
start-
of vinegar? Just any kind of just white vinegar.
White vinegar, you can use rice vinegar if you got it. I just apple cider vinegar if you want a little sweet.
Okay.
So it's just again, these are simple ingredients everyone's got in their house. So
Okay.
if you're running out, you're like, oh my gosh, clear the fridge, make a simple slaw. We could use the entire Napa cabbage, but then you use a little bit like this. This part's gonna go bad. So my uncle taught me actually cut the bottom off a little bit, right?
Okay.
And then release, and you're using now just the outer leaves, so the freshness stays inside.
You don't want the ones that are a little bit schwach, as we call them in Yiddish, schwach leaves, a little bit tired. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Right.
but
I'm just gonna cut this in half.
Yep.
Okay. So holding the knife is important because what is the most dangerous tool in the kitchen?
me.
A person holding a knife. Mayo holding a knife. Yeah.
This has now become, the real crime junkie.
No,
It was in the kitchen
a
with
knife,
a cleaver.
right?
Mr. Mayo.
Yeah.
Clue. A dull knife. A dull knife.
A dull
Dull
knife.
knife.
There
Why?
you
'Cause
go.
You're overworked.
You're overworking, and once it slips,
Right.
it's most
hurt
likely
you.
going to hurt you.
How do you sharpen your knife? Do you have tools back there that you do it
Steel
all the time?
and then stone.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I
Or-
ran into somebody the other day who's a professional knife sharpener, and he goes around to different restaurants and actually sharpens knives in kitchens.
Oh,
And I took his card. He's a Lunchbox fan, and he wanted to get involved with the show. I was like, sure,
There you go.
we'll have to do it.
my friend Aaron over at Culinary Convenience, I bring my home knives if I don't
Mhm.
have time over to him as well. But
Nice.
the next part about the knife being sharp is actually how you hold the knife. I see
Mhm.
people holding it like this,
No,
and you have no grip.
you gotta brace it.
You
right?
you got to just grab the entire
The whole
thing,
Yeah.
right? And
you
then this
kind
way
of
you're,
anchor it so that way
Exactly.
it's
your wrist controls it. So
Yep.
that's very important safety, right?
Okay.
So then just gently. Again, also, if you do this all day, dude, you're gonna be tired. You're gonna,
Mhm.
This is chopping clearly.
right.
You're gonna
You do-
bruise. Yes, you're gonna bruise it. You gotta actually come up almost. Do this real quick. Do you know the locomotion? Do the locomotion. Go backward. Go backward. There you go. This is the motion.
That's how you
This
do
is the motion.
Okay.
Right? So you gotta come up, come down, come up, come down. You're actually now
Look at
slicing.
this. This is the first live knife demonstration in the history of the Lunchbox. We've been
Yeah.
doing this 3
Disclaim-
years,
Yeah,
almost
3+
4
years, yeah.
years. Wow,
But
look at that.
you gotta
He's
be-
not even looking.
you gotta-
And you got to tell people
The bear
the
claw.
fingers and the bear claw because
bear
Because
claw.
cutting your finger is
Right.
like the move that
Yes.
always happens.
Disclaimer: if you cut your finger, he doesn't have insurance.
Yeah, that's not our fault.
but I know some things, and I know you don't ever want to put your fingers
No,
out.
no,
You
no.
kind of hold it and just,
Right.
like,
Just-
I'm a
just
lefty,
every-
so I do everything opposite. But
I've designated my middle finger here. This knuckle that's the first
Number
thing
10.
out. and
Okay.
then
It'll sort of
Nothing
protect the other
cups.
fingers.
Yep, cut nothing. If once I don't feel that, I stop cutting. Right.
Okay.
So I julienne all this
mm,
nice and fine.
it's one of
into
my
the dish.
favorite verbs to
Yes,
julienne.
to
something.
julienne.
Yeah.
Julienne.
And we always say when there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
If this carrot is unpeeled, I need to peel. I just take the back of my
Ooh.
knife.
The little gentle scrape.
So
Or just clean it off.
just clean it off.
It's like
That's
how
it.
I exfoliate in the shower.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I noticed that about your skin.
Yes,
Yes,
it's glowing. It's
I thought it was
glowing, man.
vegetable oil.
All right.
Carrots. You find that sweet spot where it actually can stay.
I didn't
And just
know that.
from
You
an
roll it
angle.
down.
Yep,
Yeah.
from the
It goes
angle.
from the side.
hold it
And
from
look
the
at you doing
side.
sideways.
Sideways.
I
That's
thought
what-
it was
I
just
would
a straight
never have-
right angle.
Ah,
That's
Look
interesting.
at
That's
that.
why-
And you get more surface area.
That's
that
why my
way.
dad told me, I can do. You have all these tools. I can do everything. You lay it flat, and then you go again. Now we're gonna go.
Okay, and you're doing the julienne
Ah,
thing,
Favorite-
right?
Yeah, it's your
Okay.
favorite word, julienne.
Yeah.
Is that your
And that's the
ex-girlfriend?
long julienne.
Julienne.
Uh,
So again, julienne. This
it's
peppers.
just full carrots. So it's not like you're mincing it into little.
Nope.
No,
No,
you're
we're
making
not-
longer pieces.
We're
Okay.
not wasting anything. We don't want to waste anything either.
Okay.
So again, get the rib
Red
out of here.
pepper. Yeah.
Red pepper for color. Again, julienne, real quick.
I
And then-
love red peppers more than green because they're just sweeter, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we got
Full
color in
julienne,
there.
okay.
We're talking
okay.
about texture. I got some snow peas here. Again, a recipe is what? A recipe is, to me, it's like the pirate code. It's a guideline.
I was gonna
Mhm.
say.
You can do whatever you,
You
want.
could
with it.
always
You can do
play
what you want.
around.
Absolutely.
you
You
know,
wanna throw some-
variation. It's jazz. You improvise a
That's
little bit,
right.
but
Throw
you
some
get your basic ingredients.
bean sprouts in here if you want. You throw some, corn in here if you want. So got all this down, all in scallion just for a little bit of garnish.
Now that you
Now
just do
that's just-
straight up
yes.
right angle little
Chop.
shots. Whoa, look at that. Ooh. Yeah, I would lose
Stressing me out.
definitely digits and possibly limbs.
Well,
I'm
again,
gonna try
this
to
is
get that right.
people go, oh, this is all you guys cook so fast. And listen, this is practice.
Yeah,
Right.
Practice makes
Years.
perfect.
Yeah, yeah,
Years,
yeah,
just
yeah.
just
How
slowly.
long have you been doing this?
Well, when did Moses come down?
The 2 tablets. Yeah. All right, let
love
me
that one, that's
rephrase
great.
that. When did you graduate from FIU's hospitality program?
04 was
That's over
undergrad.
20 years ago.
Shh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You are experienced.
When I feel like you were doing it before you graduated
and
from
He's
FIU
been
program.
doing it since he's 3.
Right.
He hangs out in the kitchens here
Oh,
with
yes.
his
Uncle,
aunt,
my
mom,
dad,
uncle.
my grandfather.
Yeah.
And again, some people do or don't like cilantro. Okay, I don't know about you. I love cilantro.
Yeah.
Are you
it's
one
a
of those?
nice
Because, cilantro is one of those foods that
You
for
can
some
just-
people they love it, and for some people it tastes like soap.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
It's one of those foods.
I don't know. I
And
like
it's
it.
Me, I
actually-
love it.
It's a nice garnish. Yeah.
But
No.
some people,
But it's also a medical thing. They medically it tastes like soap. So
Hmm.
literally, I'm going to take cilantro. Here's my dressing. Right,
Okay.
Oh, this is a dressing.
here we go.
Dressing.
There's the white vinegar.
white vinegar, rice
About-
vinegar,
A cup of it, or 4
Equal
6 ounces,
parts.
equal
Equal
parts of
parts.
honey and vinegar.
honey and vinegar. Right, honey, vinegar, cilantro. You want to spruce this up to make it. Put a little soy sauce in here, fish sauce in here, jalapeno in there. Be my guest.
Okay, but you're
literally,
making the most basic, simple version.
because everyone wants to be
'cause
at home. Everyone wants to be
anybody could do it.
rushing. Anybody can do it.
But you can do chopped jalapenos.
Chopped jalapenos, fish sauce.
Would-
We'll throw some.
Would you put chili crunch in there
on top as a garnish?
on top as
Yeah.
a garnish?
Yeah.
Okay, I love chili crunch. That's one of those things that not the hot ones, but the regular chili crunch.
I'm gonna
think
take my
it's very
back
good.
of my chopstick.
Oh, it smells good. All right, yeah. That's it.
It clears the nostrils.
Yeah, it gets the vapors.
And then we're
The
gonna toss
veins.
this in there.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And literally,
Want to get the B-roll camera
I'm
going
doing it
there?
right
Yeah.
now.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
We
yeah,
got
yeah.
the
Get my-
we got the special B-roll camera
Right,
that
mine's thinking.
I'm gonna let this slaw. Don't let it sit too much. It's gonna wilt and everything. Again, this is a last minute. You can have everything prepped, have your sauce ready, and then, as you most famously said,
yes with
we're gonna take
ribs.
our ribs.
All right. All right. Forget the B-roll. He's
I already
gone.
missed it.
It
yeah.
looks good.
Here we go. Right,
And
then
this
we're
is very simple. And again, I didn't think that the oh, there you go. Well, Lubie got his selfie mode. Got to flip it around the other way.
We're gonna
We're gonna slow on you. There's the slaw, and then
Go straight up on the plate.
right.
Get
So
a
So
you
you
got
got
your
your color:
red.
red, orange, green.
There
Go
you
on
go.
the plate. On the plate. No, there we go.
There we go. Let's people see it, and we get a little feedback. But look at that! Look at that! Gorgeous.
And I
I think I see
white,
red, and orange.
orange. Yeah,
Red, white,
well,
and- yeah.
4th of July, we
There you go.
going for the red,
ribs.
white, and blue. But
yeah.
the ribs, it's beautiful. This is
Nice and easy.
it's nice and easy. And now I got to find some chopsticks. Thank
There
you.
go. No problem.
This is the part where I come in. Don't give me the cleaver. Give me the chopsticks. All right.
So wait, if your party starts at 6, you invite him over at 7.
Yeah,
when everything's ready
exactly,
to go.
when
You know?
everything's
It's like we already got the appetizers out, everything's set.
I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Fresh, vibrant, crunchy.
Yeah.
You got the proper sweet,
And it took less than 5 minutes.
the sweet and acidic balance between the vinegar
Yep.
and the honey. That's a winner. That's a keeper.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it for 4th of July.
Lubie, you could use the other side or just use your fingers.
It's whatever.
We have no shame.
Here.
I guess they're not
Looking
short on utensils here.
And
So yeah, I mean, for 4th of July, if you got a quick, need a quick side dish and everything, he can't help himself with the ribs. I tell you.
no, we gotta
That's
have.
delicious.
I'm not gonna go full on vegan here or vegetarian. Sorry, bees, you got the honey in there, but it's a vegetarian dish.
Right.
This with the rib
It's
now
a-
makes it
the ribs is a great
a
palate,
full.
palate cleanser.
That's a
palate
palate
cleanser.
cleanser, yeah.
It makes it the proper balance between protein
Right.
and beautiful
Yeah,
crisp
That was
vegetables.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Alex, I
That's
shake
amazing.
your hand, but I got sticky fingers now. But congratulations. This is a great dish.
Yeah, it's really nice.
People, try it for yourself. Very simple.
Yeah.
Very,
That's
very, and very delicious
Thank
for the holidays. So,
Again, equal parts honey, sugar, and
Mhm.
whatever vegetables you want. You can even buy your vegetables pre-cut. We're not going to judge not at
Mhm.
all.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's July 4th. You want to relax. Be with
but I
family.
love the way that you just kind of slice it,
Yes. You don't want to.
Julian style.
you don't
Because a
wanna
lot of times you
bruise.
see the coleslaw where everything is just like minced together, and they got the cabbage is so finely shredded. This is like kind of gives it a nice heft. It's a very good texture.
We're
So,
very about, as we talked about, Asian cuisine is very cautious about texture. So,
Mm.
that's why a lot of crunch in there, a little sweet, so yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's take the third and final break. We'll let you get out of here, and then we'll get out of here too after these words on the Lunchbox. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa d'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First class dining, top flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa d'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays, including their new burrilla tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We had a cooking demo. We had the Great Asian Slaw. We had some dishes that maybe you wouldn't consider or haven't had before, like me, with that beautiful velvet shrimp. That is now going to be on my list of things to try when I come in here next. 664 North Federal Highway. Alex, we're going to see you again this summer.
Yes,
we're going to be doing it again. And next time, maybe I will try. Well, next time we might actually do something with a stovetop, right?
Oh, that'd be cool.
All right,
That'd be fun.
And the cleaver scared me. I didn't tell you why. I was in the hospitality business for about 3 seconds, maybe 4 minutes. I worked at a deli. It was a kosher deli that was a new venture in Boston, Harvard Square, when I was finishing up my college days. And it was called Maven's Kosher Court. One of the investor owners was Alan Dershowitz, the famous Harvard Law School professor. But it was opening night. I was working the deli counter, slicing meats, making sandwiches, things like that. My nice little white apron. I think we even had like little bow ties for opening night. And I'm doing the slicer, and I look away, and boom, I took off the tip of my thumb. And I was like Dan Aykroyd, Julia Child sketch in Saturday Night Live. The blood is just starting to squirt out. And I'll never forget this. And this was when I knew this was not the business for me. This woman just says, "Don't bleed in my sandwich."
Did you tell her it was kosher?
Yeah, exactly.
It was kosher blood,
kosher. You're Jewish.
And then they sent me off to get a stitch. And
you never went
Yeah,
back.
that is. I have to tell you, I really believe that's happened to the best of us.
Okay.
Everyone that I've known has gone to the ER going, excuse me.
I did not get fired on the spot. I actually went back and kept working for another few months, but then I realized my true calling was being a wise ass sports writer. So that's what I did.
Back to food.
This was great. One last word before we head into tomorrow. We might be at Reno at Heritage, Fort Lauderdale tomorrow. I'm waiting to hear back, but we're trying to do a makeup since you had that last second change last week, and want to talk to him about hockey and his Michelin Bib Gourmand. That'll be tomorrow.
So well deserved. Such a
Yeah,
great guy.
he's
such a great restaurant.
he's fantastic
Yes,
human
he is.
being,
He's
and
something.
Him and his
and
family.
then
he's also generational too.
his father,
Pizza
they
Time,
own
yeah.
Pizza Time up
For
in
years, yep.
Coral Springs and Boca. So I love seeing people that stick with the industry, but then push it forward.
to another level, yeah.
Innovating,
Another
doing new
place.
things. Alex, you're doing that here.
Thank
One last word about the upcoming Even Keel and Lunchbox and Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival co-production. We call it Pearl Jam by the Sea. It's going to be a celebration of raw oysters and sparkling beverages. The bubbly is going to be flowing. The oysters are going to be popped open. We call it Pearl Jam by the Sea because there's pearls and oysters, and we're going to be jamming to some good tunes.
Nice music.
August 9th, you can still get a couple of VIP tickets remain. That's going to have extra bonus goodies. And then the general admission tickets, if you use the promo code Lunchbox, you get an extra $10 off, so you can get a ticket for $65 for all you can eat
That's it?
oysters. Yeah, that's cheap.
My God,
We're
that's
doing
great.
it. We give good value because, like you said, it's the summer of value.
Yep,
Yes.
value,
Go
yep.
online to Eventbrite. It's oysterpearljam.eventbrite.com for all the ticket information. Use the promo code Lunchbox to get the extra savings. It's going to be a blast. August 9th, a Saturday. All right,
See you there.
Alex,
Thank
you're
you,
the
sir.
It was
man.
a pleasure.
You're the best.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Have fun the rest of the
Have a
weekend.
great
Enjoy
Fourth.
your
Enjoy
day
your day
off.
off.
A rare
Yes.
Friday off
Yes.
for somebody
Yes.
in the biz. And try not to blow up any fireworks.
What do I do with myself? I don't know. What do I do?
Exactly,
What do I
don't
do?
know what to do.
Lubie, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll see you tomorrow, probably at Reno's,
That'd be great.
probably at about
Heritage.
2:30 or 3. Oh, did I say? Yeah.
Yeah,
Heritage,
2:30 would be
Heritage.
great heritage.
All right. All good. Until then, enjoy every mushu pancake and enjoy every sandwich.
There you go.